Last year, Fugue did a big survey of folks who are operating at scale on cloud. We had over 300 organizations respond to this survey, and that's where the statistic comes from, and some others that I'm going to show you. 93% of them were concerned for a major security breach due to misconfiguration. Those 93% are correct and should be, and the 7% that aren't are probably going to get breached, would be my guess. This is something you constantly have to worry about. The attack vectors are numerous, complex, and difficult to predict. The bad guys are super clever, and they leverage lots of different service types to steal data, do crypto mining, et cetera, in your cloud environment. So from the same survey, we asked people what they were most concerned about in terms of cloud misconfiguration. And 2/3 said identity and access management, IAM. I was very pleased that came in first, because it is probably one of the scariest parts of cloud configuration, one of the easiest to get wrong, one of the most difficult to understand your actual security posture because of the kind of network-like nature of IAM. So I was pleased it came in first, but again, that should be 100%. Coming in second, because everybody needs to be constantly worried about how these identity and access management roles and policies interact in complex graphs over their infrastructure. Second, security group rules, essentially firewall ports. We see this all the time at Fugue. Somebody opens a port for maintenance, forgets to close it, and there's exposure. I mean, there have been a number of breaches recently where people left things like Elasticsearch, ports open and never turned on authentication and authorization, and entire data sets that were cached in Elasticsearch, appear on the dark web the next day. Third, so that's a good one to be worried about. Third, object storage access policies at just north of half. I find this interesting because if you were to read the news and think that the journalists always got it right, this would be in first place, right? Because you're always hearing about like object storage data leaks. And yes, you definitely need to be really good at managing these, but usually in real world breaches, it is a combination of IAM security groups and then object storage access policies that allow someone to get to those object stores. So if you have the right IAM permissions, you can steal all the data in just a few minutes. And then finally, encryption in transit disabled. So I was really encouraged to see from this survey respondents, because I think it's an accurate, by my view and Fugue's view, assessment of where the risks lie.